Hello, hello, hello. I got my Amazon device here. Yes, I love it. It's nice. Okay, but I'm not buying any more books. I'm not giving them any more money. I think I have almost all or most Thich Nhat Hanh books in here. So that's all I need, really. And I want to read you something because I, the mother of all living beings, I care about all of you, including the haters. I care about all beings. Okay, some people are dangerous. This is a tricky subject, right? But I care about your cells, your body. Okay, petty you. So, I want to read this to you from the book How to Love, because a lot of people don't know how to love. Okay, they think love or sexy talk is insulting someone. No, that's not love. Okay, so let me read this to you. This chapter is called Natural Happiness. If you walk with true awareness of every step, without having a goal to get anywhere, happiness will arise naturally. You don't need to look for happiness. When you're in touch with the wonders of life, we become aware of the many conditions of happiness that are already there. And naturally, we feel happy. The beauty around us brings us back to the present moment, so we can let go of the planning and worries that preoccupy us. When you look at the person you love, if he is absorbed in anxiety, which all of you are, okay, and I see that, you can help him get out. In quotation marks. Darling, do you see the sun? Do you see the signs that spring is coming? Okay, even in the middle of November, you can ask that question. This is mindfulness. We become aware of what is happening now, and we are in touch with the conditions of happiness that are there inside us and all around us. Okay, so I think this is very good. These books by Thich Nhat Hanh, when you read it, it is a meditation. The moment you read his books, that is meditation. And also Jiddu Krishnamurti's books, of course. Jiddu Krishnamurti is Gautama Buddha. Okay, so when you read these books, you read every sentence very mindfully and very attentively. Then you see that all of this anxiety and this constant worrying about what other people think or society, and norms and fashions and religions, all of that is totally unnecessary. We don't need it at all. We only need the present moment, really. The present moment with your animal, or with your computer, or with your trees in nature. Okay, the present moment. That is what all you need. Okay, and you need to breathe. Breathe always. Oh, I forgot to breathe. Breathe in. Okay, slowly, not in a panic. Sometimes I get shortness of breath when I wash the dishes. This is real scary. Thich Nhat Hanh talked a lot about washing dishes, interestingly, because he knows this is a task that most people want to avoid, because it causes back pain and it causes people to hunch over the sink, and it causes people to have to wait until the warm water comes out, as it is the case with us. I have to wait for, I don't know, like 2 minutes before warm water comes out. That's a long time to wait there until you can finally put your hands under that water. You know, when there's ice water coming out in the wintertime. It doesn't matter in the summertime, but now, you know, as November has begun, the water is ice water, okay? And it takes a long time until the water heater in the garage, the water from the water heater reaches this faucet. So all of these things, and then we wash dishes, and then we are like, we don't like doing this. It's kind of difficult. It's kind of hard. Maybe the pot slips out of our hands. And Paul has already damaged many of my enamel pottery stuff, my cups and plates and so on that I liked so much. I spent money on. Yeah, he chipped it. Because he's not careful, he's not mindful. I'm very mindful when I wash dishes, but bad thoughts come up, okay? And then I have to remember what Thich Nhat Hanh said. And I have to remember to really just be with the dish and nothing else. Not think about the haters or the haters in school that bullied me, or my parents, or my grandfather and my mother who bullied me. Don't think about it. Okay? Just be with that enamel pottery that you hold in your hand. And if I make my own enamel pottery, which I'm planning on doing, then it will be the blue god in pottery form. Okay? So with eyes on the side. I've made many of those already in LA and Germany. I gave all of that away because it's heavy and bulky. I should not have given that away. I miss those. Okay. I still have one. I made one, but I made one later. I have one of those now at the other house. It sits in the shelf, but I could not find a kiln, KILN, which is pottery oven, commercial pottery oven place where they would accept that, because they think that is not the right clay for their oven or something, and it could burst, or it could get, when it gets heated up too fast, then it could explode and damage all of their stuff that they made. And although I poked holes in it from underneath, which I learned to do, because you have to do that in order to let air bubbles escape, let the air vent the air out that is trapped in there. When you have air bubbles in it can explode. So I've already taken care of that, but the lady with that kiln, with that pottery kiln, she didn't want me to use that pottery kiln. She thought that it would explode. So I don't know whether that is actually true, or she just didn't like me. I had to walk out of there, and I never got to put this into, I never got to do the firing process with it yet. So, but I want to get my own firing kiln, and which is made out of very, very strong, like, you can get them in many different sizes, but they're like round, and they're made out of like cinder blocks because they heat up that stuff like extremely, extremely high heat. Not like a bread oven. Okay, so that wouldn't do it. So that heats up extremely high. And like the sun almost, okay, and then it comes out. Right now it is like an off-white, and it will come out in a terracotta color once it's gone through the firing process. And then you can buy glazing powder, which is naturally colored, mineral colored glass powder, and you mix that with water and you brush that on whichever way you want to paint it, several layers. Then you put it back into the firing oven, and that glazing powder melts onto the pottery item. And then when it comes out, that's always amazing when that comes out, to see how that looks like, how the colors melted into each other, and how amazing that looks. And so I never got to do that yet with that, but I want to do it. But all of my other stuff that I've made, like big vases, blue gourd vases with the eyes on the side, in beautiful shining gloss ceramic glaze, and I gave all of that away. Most of them are at my parents' house, and I gave a lot of them away in LA and to my family members in Germany. And I didn't keep anyone because we were living we moved into a motorhome for 3 years, so I didn't want to bring really heavy items. Yeah, that's how it goes. Okay, so, but I want to make pottery again. I want to make natural earth clay pottery. I don't use one of those rotators. I just knead it with my hands. I mold it with my hands. I like that the best. And I want to make them a little bit lighter weight. The ones I've made before are very, very heavy. Not really practical for using it as dishes. But I want to make dishes that are lighter weight. And then once I have that under my faucet in the kitchen, and I see the water running over this amazing art piece, then I can really think about that. Makes it easier for me to really focus on the dish, on the blue gourd with the eyes on the side and the big mouth of it with pink glaze on it and white teeth inside, smiling at me. I can make tea mugs like this. I can make like soup bowls with that. And I'm also planning on making, in the future, I'm planning on making myself spoons and forks and knives to eat with. And I'm in order to make that really strong and sturdy. Yes, you can go through if you want to. In order to make it strong and sturdy, I have to make it out of wood scraps. That's what I'm gonna do. You wanna sit there? You wanna sit there? It's okay. Yeah, I'm shining it at the ceiling. You can go over now. Yes, this is so ridiculous. My goodness, that's so incredibly ridiculous. Is that, man? But whatever, yes, okay. I'm talking about my pottery, my clay pottery. Yeah, it's very nice. My clay pottery, very, very nice. Those are beautiful art pieces. And they should be at Christie's in New York. They should be auctioned off for $1 million at least for each piece, but no, just kidding. I mean, I wish, but no. No, I value them higher than that. Each one of those are my children. They are incredible crafts. Okay, I put all of my love in and my mindfulness. So we need to practice mindfulness. We need to practice gratitude for every living being. It's very, very important. Infinite love and respect on eye level, and compassion and gratitude for all living beings, for everything we have around us, for the trees. Don't log any more trees. It's very, very, very infinitely important for people to understand that they can't be cutting down a living being anymore. A tree is a living being. Okay. A tree breathes, lives. A tree repairs itself. A tree protects itself. Okay. A tree has an immune system. A tree even has a very rudimentary nervous system. Even that. Okay. A tree can suffer. A tree can feel discomfort. A tree can die from pesticides and stuff. Don't use pesticides ever. Okay. A tree feels. Okay. Not to the degree that a dog or I or Paul or you feel stuff. Not that developed. Not that acute with a central nervous system. Okay. But they have a nervous system. It's very rudimentary. And there are insects too that feel something. Okay. Some more than others. There's a huge variety of sentience among insects. Okay, crustaceans and so on, which are coming from the insect world. Okay, a lobster has evolved from the insect world, from the spider. Some spiders look like lobsters, actually. Yeah, so the bigger, the more sentient. That's all it is. Don't throw a lobster into boiling water. That's not good. No, it's not good at all. Because they feel it. It's a gruesome death. Okay. They have a very evolved nervous system. Maybe not on the level as a mammal, but very evolved. So I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't know how far evolved, but pretty evolved. Okay, evolved enough to feel excruciating pain when thrown alive into a boiling pot of water. So don't do it. Okay, don't ever. I don't eat crustaceans anymore. I don't particularly not eat any kind of octopi species. Okay, so I'm not gonna do that. They're highly sentient. Octopus, they have evolved parallel to us, but the predating ancestor that they have in common with our lineage is some kind of ocean worm, a flatworm that moves like this in the water. So that is that's our common ancestor. So goes way, way back. And then that flatworm started to move into the direction of fish, then amphibian, then on our lineage. And on the lineage of the octopus, it moved in the different direction but parallel to us. So they're very different genetically because of that, obviously. And they evolved just as much as we did, but parallel, differently, but they evolved just as much as we did. They're highly intelligent. Okay, this is the amazing beauty of evolution. You can go anywhere in the infinite cosmos. If there's something that starts to evolve, with whatever circumstance there is, that there is a living being that evolves. That living being will always start out in a very rudimentary form, in a very microscopic form, microbial form, right? And then gradually develop cell clusters, develop a membrane around it. These cells grow. The next one has more cells and grows and grows. Then it develops eyes and taste and all of that for adapting to the environment, for escaping whatever it had that made it survive, that will be proliferated. Very gradual process that takes millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of years. It takes 100 million, maybe 1 billion years, or 2 billion years. That's how long it takes. But eventually, it's going to get there. It will get a brain. It will start thinking about it. It will start reflecting on itself. So, that's what the humans have done. The humans are in a very difficult evolutionary stage right now. The Blue God agrees with me, 2222. We are in a very, very dangerous and difficult evolutionary stage. We're in a stage where we could potentially oust ourselves because of our stupidity, because of our greed and corruption and corruptibility and all of that. Yeah, it's a tricky situation. And that's why I'm hoping that the most evolved human, Elon Musk, he's by far the most evolved human that has ever existed on this planet, with an IQ that is way off the chart. I think he has an IQ of 2000. That's what I think. And maybe even more. You can't even compare his brain to a regular person's. To a regular person with, let's say, an IQ of 200. You cannot even compare these brains. His brain is so far evolved and so more complex and has so much more brain power and processing power. You cannot even possibly understand this at all. So I don't know how far this goes, but the results speak for themselves. So obviously what he develops, he has his own lab, his own science research. He has developed a glass that can't even be destroyed by nuclear bombs. So I've been working on that for a long time. Yeah, starting out with improving regular glass, and then Kevlar type of structured and bulletproof, and now he's moved on to a glass that's not even glass. It's a transparent metal. So who else can do this? Okay, who else can create the most amazing robots in the world. So they're all trying around the globe, but Elon Musk is definitely the absolute pioneer, leading force with this. Okay, so that is what he is. And by far leaving all the other people behind in the dust. Okay, by far. And that's why I know that the first fully autonomous, sentient, self-thinking machine, robot, drone, program, computer brain, okay, will come from Elon Musk. And he already has it. I'm sure he does. He already has it. And he just keeps on improving it. And so maybe he will be able to replicate himself as a machine that looks like him. So that's what I hope. And then make thousands of them, so that he can get some sleep at night, so he can let the other ones work while he's sleeping. He desperately needs to sleep for his brain, and he's not sleeping enough. He sleeps like maximally 5 hours because he has so much to do. That's not enough sleep. He needs 10 hours, okay, at least, his brain working overtime. This man is working overtime for you, to save your butt, Philip Jones. You better appreciate that, okay? Philip Jones, man, come down from that pride and this pride and shame, and that your self-coronation and your self-aggrandization and all of that. That just has to do with your childhood trauma. Let's acknowledge and let's appreciate Elon Musk, Elohim, Noah. Okay? So that's who he is. That's the soul. I'm reading The Secret Doctrine by Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. She talks about the Elohim. The Elohim is the second in line, or let's say not the second in line after the infinite cosmos, which is, the language doesn't do it justice. So that's the highest evolved soul there is. Okay, the highest evolved soul. In infinity. Okay. And that's why I think he wants to go to Mars, because he wants to live there. He wants to live his retirement on Mars, and he wants to die on Mars because he thinks this is very beautiful. This is a beautiful setting for him to enter into the infinite. Okay, so we all go to different places in the infinite cosmos, but we're not yet ready to merge with the infinite cosmos. We're still individual souls, but he's going to merge. His soul is going to merge with the infinite cosmos. So that's what he's going to do. This is this very last stage now, in a living form, or in any kind of form that has reincarnated. And it's a pivotal moment for us, and we should really appreciate this. This is a monumental thing. This is happening here on Earth. This is so monumental. This is infinitely monumental. Someone like this has never existed before. Okay, never. This is once in history event, okay, and this is happening now. He's coming here to help us, okay. There will be others that come after him. There will be another one next in line after him that will prepare himself to get ready to do this transition. And they come in all genders, obviously. They come in any form. So I think the next one after Elon Musk is Bomb John from India. So Bomb John is a Buddha level soul. That's not his last lifetime yet. He has a couple more lifetimes, but if you listen to what he says, you can clearly see this man is only focused. Now, at this stage, when they get to Buddha level, they are only focused on helping other living beings. And Bomb John, as a Buddhist scholar and monk, growing up with that religion, totally surpassing the religion, because a Buddha soul always surpasses the religion. The religion is just some kind of framework that they start out with. They don't even need that. It's actually a hindrance. But they will surpass that. They will become great in spite of the religion. And that's what he did. He went into a meditation that lasted for like 6 months in India, and other monks came there they used the occult for their selfish purposes, which is not a good idea, because they are accumulating bad karma for themselves by doing this. But they tried to sabotage his meditation. He was deep in the meditation, and every time they tried that, his skin started to sweat profusely, because there was a whole lot more work to stay in that meditation while the other monks were they were doing their meditation in order to get to him energetically and sabotage his meditation. Because there are people on this planet that are deep into the occult for their own selfish purposes. And just to let you know, anyone who is like that, you are shooting into your own foot by doing this. And that's the truth. Okay? It didn't deter Bomb John from his meditation. What eventually actually made him come out of the meditation was that people created a circus around him, because he wasn't eating, going to the bathroom, or peeing, or drinking for 6 months. Okay, I mean, only an extreme yogi is able to do that. Most people don't believe it. Lots of skeptics went there and they totally just debunked it. It's not true because it can't be true, so no, it is true. Okay, they put a fence around him where he was sitting under a tree. His family was there next to him, living there, and they protected him. They made sure nobody's bothering him. So people were watching him. They had cameras on him 24 hours per day. He did not move. But his hair grew really, really long. His hair grew like almost to the navel. Black, curvy hair. And he never lost a gram of fat. Normal, completely normal. Not anorexic, not fat. Completely normal fat and muscle and body tissue. I mean, in peak performance and health. I mean, normally other people that go into a coma, even if they're fed intravenously, if they come out of the coma after a couple of months, after 3 months, they can't even get up. They can't move their bodies. They lost too much. They lost fat and muscle mass. Okay, that has to all regrow then later on. Not with a yogi like that. Okay, he retained all of that in that meditation. And so that drew people from all around the world, and there are corporatist occultists in the world, in India, all the way around the world they are. So I don't know how far the Freemasons are into this, but I think they have their fingers in this, definitely, okay? But not just the Freemasons, okay? There are Satanist groups, there are other corporate exploitation, corporate in an exploitation sense, greed-based, corruption summit corporatists, okay, that are using the occult for their own selfish purposes. I had encounters with this already. I can see them. I'm psychic. I can see those people. It sounds childish to say that, right? But I am, okay. We can say I'm highly intuitive, but I'm more than highly intuitive, obviously. What I see is obviously pretty intense, so I call it psychic. That word has been exploited, but I don't know what other word to use it. I can see things far beyond what any person would see on first glance, or even any skeptic would discover or see through or figure out, because I literally see stuff. I see Zane, for example. I can see you. I can see your face. And you are one of those, and I think that's how you made your money. You are one of those exploitation occultists. That's what I think you are. I thought you were Scotty for a long time, but no, that's another person. No. That's real sad, all of that. I think that's Zane. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to get into the details now of it. I don't want to get into this in the video, but I see you. I have a pretty good idea on how you look like and what your motive is, and it's all infinitely sad, all of this. You use the occult for your own selfish purposes, and you never get anywhere. You don't get far. Just because you use the occult doesn't mean you have any power over, you know, this wanting power over someone else. It doesn't matter how skilled you are with the occult. It doesn't matter whether you make me commit suicide, okay, or whatever you do to someone else, okay, with the occult. I'm shining it on my artwork. I'm not filming there now. I shine it on my artwork now. It's on my artwork. Oh, brother, don't make it really hard. No, my goodness. So it doesn't matter how skilled you are with your occult practices. That's not power, okay? That's just an idea of power again. Jiddu Krishnamurti talks about this, okay? That Yuji Krishnamurti, Yuji Krishnamurti was another Krishnamurti. That's just a very common name in India, Krishnamurti. So they happen to have the same name. That's a family name, like our last name. But in India, I think the last name comes before the first name or something like this. So Yuji stands for some very, 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 very long two names that are his personal names. So, or I don't know, or their last names, I don't really know, but I cannot remember that these actual names from those abbreviations, very, very long. And that's a different Krishnamurti. He is a generation under Jiddu Krishnamurti. They came from the same school, from the Theosophical Society. Jiddu Krishnamurti was rescued by Annie Besant and trained and recognized as Gautama Buddha. I don't think she ever talked about it, but she called him the Messiah. She called him the Arhat, and she called him Maitreya. So, and that is the blue goddess. That's the infinite cosmos. The Maitreya is the peace, love, kindness speaker. That's what it translates into, Maitreya. The one who has infinite Maitri. Maitri is compassionate love for all living beings. Okay, I'm not there yet for a long time, but I recognize the importance of it, and I feel it. I feel infinite love for all living beings, but whoever has seen me in the chat room on and off, you know that I am not Gautama Buddha, and that I'm not on that level. You see me get really mad, right? So no, Gautama Buddha doesn't get to those mental states anymore. Okay, well, Elon Musk doesn't get to those mental states anymore. Elon Musk is constantly, even if he's frustrated a little bit and sad about all the hate that comes at him, he never loses touch with the infinite compassion from the sky perspective that he has for all of those people that are coming at him. Okay. So it doesn't matter how much psychic power or magnetism or whatever, sabotaging energy some monk uses on a Buddha level, like Bom John in India, meditating for half a year without moving at all, without moving the body. No, Bom John was way beyond those monks' reach. Those monks, those monks probably could send me into the abyss. That's most likely. They better not even know that I exist, right? Those monks. But, a Freemason type of person like Zane, I feel it. I feel the hatred made me cry like rivers for years. And that's part of my soul school, but it's not destroying me. So it just makes me grow. We have to value every teacher. They come in all forms. The meanest ones are the most praised and prized teachers, actually, because they really make us grow. So if everything was just paved, which I like to have, if there was a red rug rolled out for me and my soul, then would I grow in that lifetime? Not very much, right? So obviously, but one of those Tibetan, or wherever they're from, one of those Indian or Tibetan Buddhist monks that work for the wrong group, that work as corporatist exploiters. They come in all forms, those people. Those people are bringing on a lot of bad karma on themselves to use what they were taught to use for maitri, for compassion, karuna, to use that for their own selfish gain, working for the corporate agenda. Boy, they amass karma, brother. You should know that, okay? But one of those might be able to send me into a mental abyss. Okay, one of those might be able to make me cry. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not, because the blue God protects me. But those people, I know the blue God protects me. But those people, they can send someone into the abyss. They can make someone commit suicide. They have done it. They have also done it to angel souls. This is horrific. But I guess some of those angel souls, that was also part of the soul school, because there's not a thing that is not part of the soul school. So maybe their mission was to only become 16 years old, okay, before they end their own lives, because they were attacked psychically to that point by a corporatist, occultist, okay, Freemason, monk, whatever, Satanist. Just because someone is a Buddhist monk doesn't mean that's a good person. Be very careful about this, okay? There are some good ones, but there's a lot of those that have this so-called, what they call very badly this is a badly labeled condition in the genes, the warrior gene. No, that's not. A warrior is actually someone who's brave and stands up for the good, right? Risks their life for the good. No, but no, this is a euphemism, okay, to use on a psychopath who happens to be a Buddhist monk. No, I'm not going to call that the warrior gene. I call it the psychopath gene. That's what that is, okay? They are not warriors. No, they're psychopaths, okay? And so they have enormous skill on training their own mind, on taming their own mind, on taming their prefrontal cortex, loop, amygdala, hippocampus, bypassing loop, that they normally have if they weren't trained with that skill. So they just have enormous self-restraint power. That's still not power. Okay. All of that knowledge, all of those skills, it's not. Those are just tools. A yogi can be a psychopath. That's tools on taming the mind, the monkey brain, whatever. The quick anger that arises. Taming, always putting the lid on it. They have not worked on it. They have not done the inwardness meditation process, because if you take one of those people, no matter how trained they are, and they pretend to be your guru, they're still psychopaths. Okay, they just have tamed their body and their sexual needs and their desires and all of that, tamed that into a very workable condition. That's all they did. That's not power. That's still not power. That's not empowerment. Okay, that's a skill. It's a good skill to have. Yes. Tony Robbins goes in the direction of taming our minds. So he's very much in sync with the Buddhist approach, also with Thich Nhat Hanh and all of that, and I'm sure he studied all of this as well. And Tony Robbins is a good person. I declare him as a good person. So I don't see him as, I know he likes money, I like money too. I would not say he's pathologically greedy. He is just a normal, he's watching out for himself, and he's good with money, and he's successful, and he is using mind over matter, and he's using skills, and Wim Hof is teaching us those skills also. He's a good person. He's not necessarily using that. He's not using that. I don't know him that well, but from what I see, he's not using that in a self-proliferating sense. Okay, what I'm talking about when I talk about an exploitation corporist or cultist, okay, we can use these three words for that. What I mean by that is someone like the monk that came over there meditating in front of Bom John, like 100 feet away from him, outside of that range, and trying to spin Bom John off his course, off his meditation course, because he works for the corporate agenda, the monk. He does this he gets paid for that, and he uses those are just skills. He uses those skills to enrich himself with, which is really going against. This is a breach of the ether world. Okay, Helena Petrovna Blavatsky talks about this in her book. She made that very clear. In the very beginning of the secret doctrines. Do not use the occult for your own selfish purposes. And I guess a lot of people, they don't even understand what all is implied by that, what all is attached to that statement, what she means by this. Okay, so a lot of people, because they're not evolved souls, they will think, oh, this is okay, I can use this. No, it's not. Not at all. Okay. You cannot wish someone death, whether you are a skilled yogi or someone who has no control over their faculties. You cannot do it. You cannot wish harm on another living being. You cannot do it. It's a breach of the ether world. Okay, don't do it. This is the truth, what I'm saying. Okay, whatever occult skill, yogi skill that you learn, use it wisely. Use it to protect your family, your loved ones, and yourself, your own body. Never go against someone else. Never use that in war. See, that was the fate of Adolf Hitler. That's where the problem came in. And that's why I'm saying Adolf Hitler is not an evolved soul. Not at all. I would say Adolf Hitler is a light worker soul. More evolved than a psychopath. Sorry to say it, but it's the truth. But light worker souls are not, they don't see the whole picture yet. He thought he could use the occult to gain military and governmental power. Big mistake. Okay, big mistake. That lashed back at him. Big time. Okay. I think Charles Manson was the reincarnation of Adolf Hitler. I believe that. I see an complete energetic match of these two existences. That's one soul. Okay. And that's still not rock bottom psychopath. Okay. He himself hasn't even killed anyone. He made other people kill, which is very psychopathic, of course. But that came out of a psychosis. He was in a complete madness, frantic psychosis, same as Adolf Hitler was. Okay, so, and he too tried to use the occult to gain power, gain guruship power over other people. Manson and Hitler both. So one soul, I believe. That's still not rock bottom. That's still not the absolute beginner soul that comes from the stream of sorrow. So this soul already has a couple of lifetimes behind him, but obviously has no clue on what it means to go into your own mind, what it means to feel your own pain and leave other people out of that, and what it means to empower yourself. Empowerment is Jesus Christ lived empowerment very diligently. Okay. Just an indigo, okay, not that evolved, but very well aware already. So not perfect yet. Okay. So, and perfection is, again, that's another misunderstanding, the word perfection. So we can use that word, but let's be careful, that is a finite word. I don't use that word perfection because of that. I use infinite growth. So that's better. Okay? And let's get on that path of infinite growth. Let's get on that path. That's the first thing we have to do. So how do we do this with someone like Charles Manson? I never met him. There are people that were his followers. I would never be a follower of someone like that. Some kind of hate group like this. So it wouldn't matter what he says, In the end, because he said in solitary confinement, that forced him into the inwardness process. It forced him into it. He wouldn't do that voluntarily. But because it forced him into that inwardness process, some people think he got crazy. No, that's when he started to look into himself. Okay. And he probably screamed in regards to looking into himself. He screamed at looking himself into the mirror energetically. So, but that's the inwardness process. You don't have any other. There's no other option. That's the empowerment process. Okay, you think the empowerment process is by having power over other people? No, that's reverse. Okay, that's the unempowerment process. That's when you think you have power now by using anything against someone else, whether that's a negative word or thought. It's energy, okay, or whether it's an ill-meaning meditation in Tibet or wherever. Yes, I'm sorry, baby dog. You know what I'm talking about. Yes. Then I'm sorry, baby dog. I'm talking to the world here. I'm not talking to you, baby dog. You are a pure soul. Yes, you are. That's it. Look what a pure soul that is. That is a God level soul. Very advanced soul. Very, very advanced. Much more advanced. Much more advanced than most people. Much more advanced than I am. He's more than 2 soul levels above me. Okay. And I prayed to the blue god to bring him to me. I thought that would happen in form of a man because I'm lonely. I want a boyfriend. But, my soul school didn't allow that, so he came in form of a dog. And a difficult one, not the dog I wanted, but the dog I needed. My soul needed. So I saw another woman, she had the same experience. She wanted a specific dog, and then she ended up with a pit bull from the animal shelter. A female. And she said that's not the dog she wanted, but that's the dog she needed. Okay, and that's how it goes sometimes in our lives, okay? Obviously. Okay, so I guess Paul is making veggie paste, making a bunch of noises in the background. So, yeah, but I just want to finish the video and say, you can take Adolf Hitler, and you can take someone like this, or Himmler, or Goebbels, or whatever these names are, like, what's that other guy's name? That Pat's always talking about. I can't even remember all of these names, but no, I'm not a follower of any of these people. I never read their books, okay? So I don't like any of those. They are not on the level, okay? And not even their philosophers. So Friedrich Nietzsche is the only philosopher that they liked, but that's because they misunderstood Nietzsche. Hook, line, sinker, completely. Full force. They completely misunderstood Nietzsche. And the reason why is because Nietzsche's sister Elizabeth has falsified his teachings, has finished unfinished books that he was writing, and made them into a Nazi type of worshipping, into a nationalist type of, which Nietzsche was against. He was against all of that, really strictly. Nietzsche, the only philosopher Nietzsche really respected was Gautama Buddha. Okay, so right then and there, it says a lot, but the majority of people misunderstand all of this because they don't get to hear the other side of the story. That's how it always goes. And that's my mission, to bring to the world the other side of the story. The story that you did not hear. The story that was withheld from you deliberately. Because there is a handful of pyramid eye, summit, corporatist occultists out there. And this is not a conspiracy theory. This is the truth. And it's all about power and money. That's all it is about. And these people think they got some kind of power, or they're better than other people. No, they're not. They are bottom dwellers. It doesn't matter how many skills they have, how much money they have, and deep down they know it. They know they are absolute bottom dwellers. Okay, so, and it's those type of people like George Soros, Bill Gates, those type of people, they know they are bottom dwellers deep down. And it wouldn't matter how much money they accumulate, and how much political power they accumulate, and how much military power they accumulate. They can buy the whole world. They can go to they can go to a bordel, and they can say, give me a 12-year-old from the Midwest. And the people there of that bordel will say, that will cost you. And they will say, I don't care what it costs. Bring. Okay. There are people that have packed all of that out. Trust me on this, okay? It's happening. And then they think they can empower themselves with that 12-year-old that they rape and then butcher up into pieces and throw the body parts against the ceiling. There are janitors that have seen it, okay? And they have seen who did it. And they're terrified to death to say who did it, because they know that the janitors, if they pack out the names, that they know that those are the very janitors or whatever, housekeepers or personnel that they hired. Okay, so, and they're even very careful who they hire. They only hire a total jerk. They have a sixth sense on someone who has just the slightest spark of compassion. They would not hire a person like this because that could be a potential whistleblower. So, no, they only hire totally into themselves assholes, and maybe because that one guy, maybe he knew how to disguise his compassion, because obviously he has some compassion, or he wouldn't be blowing the whistle on this. He said what he saw is gonna haunt him for the rest of his life. He had to quit that job, of course, but he told him for a different reason than what the actual reason is, which is the horror that they are doing. Okay, so, and then someone like George Soros, I don't know the names, I'm just guessing here. Soros, Gates, people like that think, or Rothschild people, or I don't know who, they're good Rothschild people too. Not all of them are bad, but maybe some of them are bad. I don't know. It's a whole dynasty. So it's a whole demographic. It's a whole population. Okay, some of them are good, some of them are bad. But the ones that are bad, they think they can gain power. They can gain mind power over hurting another living being like this, over doing a ritual sacrifice like this, whether they are devil worshippers or Buddhist monks or Freemasons or anyone, it doesn't matter. Or some Mormon cults, okay, do a blood atonement and stuff like that. It doesn't matter who they are. If they do this, they have completely misunderstood what power is. They're still at the same place where they started out at, just with more money, that's all. Did it make them happy? No, it didn't, because they're still just as unempowered as before. Because it's not empowerment, okay, what they're doing. It's a misunderstanding. Oh gosh, I wish I could get this message across. The only empowerment that you get, that you can actually get, is when you start on the healing process. When you even get on the path of healing. You haven't even gotten on the path yet. Okay, so Bill Gates, Soros, anyone, any of these people. I'm not even including Epstein into this. He had a bordel, but I don't think he had of that brutal proportion. Okay, so no, there are people that they don't want their shit to come to the surface ever. Okay, so there are rich people that avoid having their wealth counted by any magazine or Fortune 500 whatever group. No, they would rather not be seen with their, I don't know, trillions of dollars. For them it really doesn't matter what anything costs, so, and they think they can, they twist it all around. They think this is some kind of power. It's not power. You're still where you started out. You are a beginner soul, okay, unfortunately with a money-making IQ, okay. That's the only difference really between you, between Gates, Soros, and Hitler and Jeffrey Dahmer, or any super predator. I'm not finished yet. Not sure. Give me 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. So what I want to wrap this video up with is, how can we take any one of us, any one of you, anyone, we take Hitler, we take Manson, we take Jeffrey Dahmer, we take Ted Bundy, we take any super predator, like that black guy who said the only way he can even get sexually aroused, or get sexual pleasure, is if he kills white women. It's the only way he can get sexual pleasure. So he thinks because of that, it's justified. Wow. Now, that's how those people think. That's not good to have those people out there on the streets, okay? And that's a fact, that this is not good for the community. Those people need to be head bolted. They need to be bullet droned on the spot. Okay, thank you. Blue God just gave me total approval. 11111. Now, this is total approval from the infinite cosmos on what I just said. Okay, this is not coming from any kind of doctrine or any kind of guru. Nobody would even dare to say something like this, what I just said. This is coming from courage and from infinite love for all living beings. Okay. And having said that, I still love that super predator's body cells and body, and if he is under full body anesthesia, he is not acting out, then his body is in a hibernating state, his hands are not killing anyone in that moment, okay? Then I can go over there, I can kiss him, I can pet him, massage him, and say, I love your body, I even love your brain cells. I love everything about you. Your soul is a beginner soul. I even love the soul as a beginner soul. The soul is really a newborn. It's like a newborn baby, that needs to, if you have a newborn baby and you put that newborn baby together with rats or guinea pigs, that newborn baby is going to hammer down on those guinea pigs and throw them around, and that newborn baby is in a despair for mama. The newborn baby doesn't have a clue on that other living being. That's a toy, the baby dog. He killed a cat. I want the cat, I want the cat. I want that cat, I want to play with that cat. I've seen the cat for so long, I want the cat, I want the cat. So he finally got the cat. I got the cat, yay! But the bite force? No. He was not aware of the bite force in that moment. The baby toddler's not aware that he's hammering down on a guinea pig. You have to come in and protect the guinea pig from the toddler. You have to protect the toddler from himself. You have to protect the new soul from itself. Okay? And I believe in the AGI robots coming to this world, and that's what they will do for us, for the human species in that dire evolutionary state of development. Okay? With the rest of the population who are not super predators giving into the super predator. That's a bad evolutionary state that we are not good. Okay? So something has to happen, or the human species is not going to survive this. And they're going to take other species with them. They already are. Okay? Not good. Okay? This is not good. I mean, that will still not be the end of the world if that happens. Okay, a lot of species are gonna die then if you let it go down that course. Okay, so life on Earth will become completely unlivable if you let the human species go. If you let this take its course, you're all gonna die with that. And the Muslims even think this is cool because it's part of their religion or something. So I mean, it's those type of people that have been allowed to evolve, and they want to tear everything down. Okay, but Elon Musk is here. Okay, and he is literally our savior. Okay, so what do we do with the super predator? What do we do with Charles Manson? What do we do with Adolf Hitler? What do we do with Ted Bundy? What do we do with anyone like this, who is a new soul or unevolved soul, or misunderstands everything, or is just a total super predator, rabid psychopath? Okay, so what do we do with those people? Obviously, they are baby souls, they're toddlers, they have to be protected from themselves. And I can't do it, I'm not an AGI robot yet, okay? So all I can do with my videos is send this message out. It's an energetic message that I send out to the world. Whether you are in prison, or you are in the Freemason cult, or in the Mormon cult, or you sitting at home in front of your computer. Take this message in. This is energy of infinite love. Okay, I'm just a messenger of the infinite. I'm not there yet myself. I'm like a telephone. Okay? Take this message in. Okay, this comes from the blue God. He's speaking through me with this. Okay, infinite love for all living beings. Okay, be careful what you say. Be careful what words you use. Okay, I play around with words. I'm not evolved yet. So I am not a Buddha level. I am an indigo. I'm getting mad. I play around with people sometimes. I use the pink rubber hammer. Okay, but I'm still very careful what words I use. I'm not going to call you certain names because I'm very well aware that you are a baby. I'm not going to call these names. I'm not going to call a newborn those names because he hammered on a guinea pig. He doesn't know better. Jesus Christ said one very important thing. He said, have mercy on them because they do not know what they're doing. And that is that message, okay? They are new souls. They come from the stream of sorrow. If I had been, I was 10 years old at the time when they had this discussion at Brockwood Park. Jiddu Krishnamurti was the two Davids, David Bohm and David Schoenberg, and they were asking him about the stream of sorrow. David Schoenberg said, where is that stream of sorrow? Jiddu Krishnamurti said, it's there. That's where it is. It's there. At 10 years old, if you sit me together with these people, I would be eating candy, not having a clue what they're talking about, right? But if you take me and go through a time tunnel, and I sit down with them at Brockwood Park, as I am right now, 1975, okay? Brockwood Park, England, a school that Jiddu Krishnamurti founded, and I would join that conversation. The first thing I would ask is not where is the stream of sorrow. I know it's there in the ether too, and it's as a lot of stuff is there, okay? But we are protected by the blue God, of course. But I would ask the question, why did the stream of sorrow even come into existence? What is the purpose of the stream of sorrow? Those are very deep reaching questions. Okay, and those are the questions that I have pursued my entire life, and I will for the rest of this lifetime. Okay, that's why I studied psychology, because I wanted to know. I didn't have that word yet, stream of sorrow, but I knew that some people are sadistic, and I wanted to know why. Okay, they are new souls. They are newborn souls. They're coming from the stream of sorrow. Why does the stream of sorrow exist? Where does it come from? How did it evolve? How did it get there? Okay. Why are there souls coming out of the stream of sorrow? What do these souls want? Okay. Never-ending soul of development. New souls popping out of there. So what do they want? What's the purpose of all of this? I probably will never find out. Okay. I think this is the churning. This is part, all of this is part of the churning. A churning and churning and churning and evolving of the infinite cosmos itself. Okay, so that's what I think. But how do we help these people? We help these people with energy, with healing energy. Okay, and whether they are dead or alive or in Bardo, or whether they're about to be euthanized, because some of them have to be euthanized, because we can't tolerate those people in this world. Okay, but I still feel a mother instinct for all of them. Yes, I'm almost, yes. Okay, you can go by now. I don't. It's super annoying, but it is what it is. Oh, here's the disco light. Got the disco light in the corner. It's real nice. And the baby dog is always there looking out into nature to see if there is... Oh, I saw a kitty down there with white feet and black body. Kitty down there. I don't think the baby dog saw the kitty today. He saw the kitty yesterday. So, because if he sees when he sees the kitty, he goes berserk because he wants to play with that kitty. Yeah, just like a toddler says, "Oh, a guinea pig, a toy," And the psychopath it's not a very good analogy, but the psychopath is a new soul and is totally confused. Okay? But I'm sending all of these souls loving, healing energy. And I want you to get on the healing paths. This is very important. Don't waste a lifetime. Don't waste a second with act-outs. Get onto the healing paths. Feel that sorrow from the stream of sorrow. Feel it. Cry it out. Okay? Be good to other living beings. And then we can make the world into a paradise. I promise that to you. Okay? You guys take care. Peace and love for all living beings.